Chee. Yo, yo, yo. What up? It's the dude, Cedric Clinton Kairis. We're at Squeeze Play where we print t-shirts all day, every day. And we're coming at you with another episode of Freestyle Friday, episode 38. 38 weeks coming straight at you with some hip-hop, some fun, some screen printing, some love, some good vibes, some words of inspiration. And shout out to each and every one of y'all for tuning in, hitting the like button, showing love, sharing, commenting. Truly appreciate each and every one of y'all. It's a pleasure doing these every Friday. And yeah, like I said, we're at Squeeze Play. My name's Cedric Clinton, Chief Funk representing. And I'm going to share with y'all a couple of things we've been up to this week. So, actually, these are literally hot off the press. Printed these a little bit earlier this evening. Shout out to Steel Co. They got that silver shimmer cracking. As you can tell, they're Oakland Raiders fans. Shout out to Oakland. And shout out to y'all. I also printed this Squeeze Play shirt that I'm rocking right now. One of our newest logos. Shout out to Koak, king of all kings. One of the illest graffiti artists, drawers, painters, you name it. This guy is a man of many talents. So shout out to Koak for whipping up this dope design, which we actually turned into a sticker as well. So for those of y'all who come through the shop and want to grab a sticker, please feel free. What else is going on in the music world these days? Oh, shout out to Jay Shu. He just dropped a new single and video. So blessed. Check that out if you haven't already. Really dope stuff going on with the Aloha Hype fan. Slick also just dropped a track called Fire Emoji, if I'm not mistaken. So shout out to y'all. And yeah, happy Aloha Friday. So this week we have some very, very, very special guests in the building. One of them you may know from the hip-hop community here in Hawaii, and one of them I just met this evening. Very cool cat, and we got some dope stuff lined up for y'all. So we got a couple instrumentals that we chose, and we're gonna allow you to step into the minds of these artists for a little bit as well. So I'd like to introduce to y'all my brothers, Navid from the Super Groupers, and the new homie, Keith Cross.
What up, what up,
what up, what up? Thank y'all for rolling through.
Oh yeah. What up, what up?
So, tell the people where you guys are originally from, starting with Navid.
Originally, I was born in Iran, and left when I was 8, grew up in New York, came out to Hawaii. First time actually 1997, went to the Big Island for the first time. Then I moved to Oahu around 2001.
Okay.
Was out here about 2005. Then I left for a few years, came back, and I've been here since.
Word.
Yeah.
And how about yourself, Keith?
I'm originally from LA, South Central LA. Moved to the Bay for 6 years, and then just moved out here 9 months ago.
Word.
And God willing, I'm gonna stay.
Welcome. Welcome. So we're gonna get straight into some freestyles for y'all. We got a couple beats that we chose, and then we're gonna let you guys get to know these gentlemen a little bit more a little bit later on. So I'm gonna get these beats flowing and these rhymes going. Pause for the cause.
Yeah. If you guys don't know, this dude's got a dope shop. up here. This is my first time up here. Keith's first time. It's a pleasure to be here this evening
Squeeze play.
on the now legendary Freestyle Fridays.
Yeah. Extra nice.
Anyone want to volunteer?
Yeah. I say I started off, we never coming soft. Illmatic, what they call me when I'm going off, strictly off the brain. The dome pieces flowing, add squeeze play, so the skills they be showing. Woo! Yes, I be knowing the path that I'm walking, never really stalking, looking for a scheme. I'm just living for a dream and trying to get with teams that are on that similar mission, so we can all gleam and we flow in the breeze. And I never seem to amaze myself when I'm flowing in a dream type of state. Now I'm just pass it away. This is the guy that has to say what?
Cedric, the biofeedback specialist. And no, I'm not on no special list. I came to kick the freestyles right off of the dome. Feel like a free child, like a beast in the booth. And I'm speaking the truth. I try to spread the vibes for the little young youth and open their minds as I channel the deep inner divine with these rhymes every time, and they're on time just like the tick on the clock. And it never will I ever sign a lick on the dot. Fuck that, I'm a boss and I run my own enterprise. Ain't into guys and chicks that be telling hella lies. I'm hella fly, just like Super is. We with the straight up super group of kids, it's Cedric, and you better check the rhetoric. Keith Frost in the house, yeah, we about to wreck the shit. And I represent, Chief Funk is evident. You should have voted me for president. Donald Trump ain't got shit on this. It's Cedric coming sicker than some syphilis. Never been hit or miss, the shit is always on point. I stay lit like the tip of a bomb joint. And I'm passing to the right hand side. Let my man Keith Frost get up all up inside.
Get up all inside, I provided what you wanted. We make sure that the growth spurt is never stunted. I'm closer to where it is I want to be doper. My skills will get me fall off of the microphone, no sir. It's not no poser that you are beholding. Microphones is what I'm touching, everything turned golden like I was Midas. And this was like once upon a time when I ripped the mic. Too strong for there to be some kryptonite to ever stop me, the real, not the copy. I'ma continue to give you that continuous skill when I spit the rap. I was hoping you noted, and the dosage is probably not too much, and maybe you end up in comatosis. I used up my energy, new stuff is what I'm trying to conjure. Do it proper like I was a doctor. I was here to heal, and I was hoping you could see it and you hear the skill.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard that skill. I heard it was
Vibration. I heard that skill. I heard it was will. Straight from the soul, it's some shit you could feel. Ain't mass appeal. Keep it on the underground. Let that other sound. Chief Funk, I came to funk around. Hold it down like a motherfucking anchor. I'm trying to stack chips just like a straight banker. And spread it throughout the community. My name is Cedric, I got diplomatic immunity. And usually I be ripping the mics up in the sight. Shout out to the husband and the wives out there spreading love. Shine bright like the light above. I stay fly just like a dove. Not so pigeon, you know this shit, it ain't written. These compositions that I'm spitting is so exquisite and explicit. I might swear once in a while and you might crack a smile. Check the dial.
Check the dial, we coming back for more. And really what's in store is a little flow from the top or the middle of the brain as I conjure what it really means to be an author of your own destiny. Flowing so free, like the breeze in the ocean. This is the day I sat away from the sun, cause the shade, yo, it takes me to another place where we can be all together under this never stormy weather, cause the sounds, yo, they make me feel good. The vibe and the beat, yo, it's all understood by the listener or the player of the rhyme. Perspectives, yo, they disseminate through timing. And I'm vibing, we are climbing. This is not a mountain top. We are here and we will never ever stop. Will the beat come back or just drop? Chief Funk.
Yeah.
Cross.
Yeah.
Hip hop.
Freestyle. Freestyle Friday,
Yo,
episode 38. Super Groupers representing. We got Keith Cross in the house.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
got a couple more instrumentals lined up for y'all. Some very regal sounds.
You gotta stand up straight for this one.
Right, yeah. What is this?
Zip King shit. De La Soul instrumental. If you guys haven't checked out their latest album and the Anonymous Nobody.
The way it came in sound like something from Gladiator. I'm a
Gladiator.
crowd captivator. I'ma continue to kick you this raps, and I know it might sound a little ridiculous. I ain't tripping, I continue to break it down for witnesses. Some of them they watch, and I don't know if they vision is a little bit blurry, but I'ma use this precision. If my accuracy is not on, well that's okay, cause I'ma get up on the microphone and then I'ma spray. See, that's what I do. I get up on the mic and penetrate, and I got that flavor that you really can't eliminate. Nah, that ain't gonna happen. I might even have flaws, but I don't even trip or allow that to make me pause. Unless it's on purpose, I never get nervous. I'm about to give you something that might start to move in your circuits, and then you start to feel it. It's the realest that we give you, and I'm trying to give you something to make you want to chill with other people and build with other people. Ain't no sense in trying to hurt or to kill. We continue to heal like medicine, rap veteran. I hope that they hearing the narrative that I was telling them. I hear the beat going. He said this was from De La Soul. I'm hoping that I can really display my soul. Can you hear it? It's real good for your spirit. Can you dig it? And if you don't know where we at, and we ain't gonna tell you, so you can't visit and interrupt, but you can come through the internet. We gonna continue to do it and make sure to invent the fresh. You get a whiff of this. I'm hoping it smells good. I got these stories I plan to tell good. I could be up in your hood or different places and give you a rhyme that you might want to participate with. Just the patience is what I need to grow. I try to come off of the dome with that unbelievable. I don't let them inside of the group unless they really need to know what it is that we was telling them secrets. One of the deepest. My man over here, I'ma give him some room so that he can creep in.
Yeah, we be flowing like the blood in your veins, spreading love in the pain, and I came here to explain this rhyme cipher. Yes, it's ridiculous, and you know, sicker than some syphilis, trying to hit some clitoris, right on the G-spot. It's the G-spot, hip-hop, yeah, that we rock. Yeah, on the low like a GoPro, got that flow though, and I love my bros, no homo. Flow that, throwback, yeah, I fucking know that. Can you get the picture like a Kodak? It's G-Funk, repping on the iPhone, and my third eye strong, and I rip for like 9 strong. 9 years, I be ripping these mics, and you know it's Cedric, and I'm ill in the sight, from the left to the right, and I got the crowd hype, from the day to the night, and we feeling alright. It's all chi, positivity, dope rhyming abilities with these poems and soliloquies. Let me break it down, cause I got the remedy. And you know he's like 10 steps ahead of thee. MCs out here, they fucking losing it. I'm showing love, I'm not here abusing it. Repping for the culture, killing vultures. And you know that I'm so tumultuous in this life that I'm living with precision. I'm all about that addition, not no division, subtraction of that whack shit. My flow is like lyrical acrobatics. Here's a fat twist with a backflip. Not no actor or no actress. Yo, Navid, hear your raps, kid.
Raps, kid, I cover tactics and live the most so I can feel when we close. We almost there to the avenue. People gotta feel what it means to be brand new. Like you born today, not born yesterday. This is the things that I say when I think away from myself. The beat is ended, but I'll never pretend it's coming back again. I'm rapping in this time because the timing was a signature of my mind. This rhyme is conjured. I'm feeling very awkward now without the music, so I'll back up easily, put it back to the test. I ain't really feeling free. I am here so obsessed with the rhyme, but I'm gonna slow it down and see what we got next.
Hey. Freestyle Friday, episode 38.
Let me come back again. I'm rapping it, steady slapping these beats, and we out here just chilling on Sand Island, a man-made monstrosity. This is native property. There was a robbery, certainly, but it's not an oddity. All over the planet, you can see the same results and same monopolies, like industry, the captains of kangaroo. Well, fuck that. I'ma do what God sent me here to do. So I'ma prove what it means to be non-corporate with this hip-hop. Well, I wish I had a publicist, but let's not stop. The flow or funk, we can get ridiculous. Or I can even say this because I'm filled with the skills. But I'm losing it, so I'm gonna pass it to the real experts. On my left and my right.
Well, he gonna pass it, so I'm gonna give you a classic. These are the flows that I mastered. I guess I studied, so that might even make me a bastard. Which means that when it comes to the rhyme, I don't know what my dad is, but I know that my past is something that really will lead me. And it's really my own ego that will defeat me. I'm creepy. Why would you even wanna look? And I'm still gonna spit the flow on the weekend, and on the weekly I can write a book. I can write a chapter, the rap master. I'm gonna give you something, and if it's too slow, then move faster. Pay it to you like it was something that I owed, like it was the church and I had to give my cash to the pastor, the deacon. The flows is what I put together, I'm freaking. I ain't gonna stop and I'm gonna continue to climb, I'm not peaking. I'm reaching, I'm thinking, I'm trying to get to where I can, but sometimes the thoughts don't really seep in and get deep inside of the skin where I wanted to be while I'm over here. I'm seeking the truth. One of these days you'll get it while I'm speaking to youth and the old folks. I don't know where it is that I'm supposed to be, but that's alright because I remain hopeful. A dope MC is what I'll become when I can run this game. I continue to do it, spit it the same. The shame is not something that I spill or that I feel. Why am I stuttering? But that's alright, I continue buttering both breads for real. Yeah, both sides of it, toasted nice. Give them what they want and there's really no poltergeist that can haunt my house cause I keep the flow dope and nice. Well, written rhymes is something I won't recite. Right now, this is off of the dome. Tight style, Mr. Cross and Control. And so I offer the flow like it's a burnt offering. I'm sitting here between the altar and myself and the Most High is who I want to talk to.
Shit, talk to him, bro. And you know I peep ill freestyle with it, yo. Off the D-O to the M-E, I got plenty, and I spill my soul out until it's empty. Full clip like Gangstar, my rap's hard. And these soft MCs get to the back door. I'm on the front, live stage and I'm blazing. It's amazing. I'm Caucasian, but my eyes be Asian with the marijuana that I be blazing. And you know, I'm like on a permanent vacation. I live in paradise, and these raps is nice, but life is a gamble, and you know I have to roll the dice, and I'm playing it. Dope rhymes, I be saying it. Let me break it down, explain a bit. It's G-Funk with the positive vibrations, mental elevation in this fast nation. I'm slow pacing. Yeah, I'm on Hawaiian time. Ain't no Hawaiian rhymes, it's universal and I grind to shine. Like the stars up above. Me and the beat fit like a hand in glove. And you know I'm spreading love. But sometimes my ego wants to show out. I go now. And you know I rip rhymes with no doubt. Just like Gwen Stefani. I'm sipping water just like Dasani. And I'm trying to rock some Armani, but fuck that. Dope rhymes, I tuck that in my knapsack with the fat raps. Take it back to the days of rocking that backpack. And you know I had that stashed in the back lack. Black lack is what I meant to say, but I got no beat, no rhymes, and no DJ, but I will display my soul, yeah, it's coming through the mental over dope instrumentals. This shit is so essential. No pattern, no pencil, no rehearsal. And you know that I had to disperse the energy that's coming through now. With Cedric, G-Funk is what I'm repping with style. Be a hero, not no zero. I want that De Niro. My life is a movie, Robert De Niro. Freestyle, I'm living on an island, wildin', where the cute chicks be smiling, drunk dialing. You got the number, you should hit me up. The beat is rocking out and I'm slipping up. It's all good, but I'll be back on. I'll be back strong and I rap for like a living light years on. On and on like Erica Badu. Watch out for the tweakers, you'll be smoking that Batu. I sneeze on the beat like hot shoe. You want some ill freestyles, then we got you. I came to rock, dude.
Promo, dope flow, step into the dojo. See if we can teach you some things that you don't know. Keith got some veins, I guess my teeth didn't grow right. Don't even trip, all I know how to do is hold mics. Practice every day so I don't roll dice. Come around here, we show you what the game go like. It's your life, live it like you want to. Falling off is something that we really not gonna do. That ain't something that we allow. The dope style is what we have, and plus we don't never throw in the towel. Buy a vow like the Wheel of Fortune, hot scorching. Nice dish, come on, go ahead and get your portion. Get a slice, this is nice. We give them something that they allow them to go get baptized and be born and live a different life. Reborn, resurrection, kicking freestyle flows. No defection from my country, cause my country is me. I be kicking this flow and I do it comfortably.
Just finish it. Put the finishing touches on it. We never diminish, kids. Always ready to take him to another level. Never settle on shit. Beyond this is a rebel that was born from the grain of the funk. Like she says what? Everybody grab the trunk. We out of here. Preparation for disaster. I'm hoping for this to come sooner now than after. We get laid, we get paid, we get said to be. Never easily, I'm just here for harmony. In front of me is a camera with some people out there that be looking at me when it's a damaging perspective to hear rock and roll and hip hop coming through with the ear. It's never fearing face what you really say. It's all love displayed from the things never delay or decay. The big rock and roll ending.
My hair don't shake.
Freestyle Friday.
Freestyle Friday.
Damn, you got crazy with that.
Yeah, man, I'm getting all tongue-tied. I don't understand.
I couldn't tell.
I hope y'all forgive me.
His name is Keith Cross once again. This is Navid. Repping super groupers. Let's see who's tuning in. Shout out to Landon. Shout out to Sean. And shout out to Accent.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get to know these gentlemen a little bit better right now. We got a couple more freestyles for you a little bit later in the evening. So you guys know where they're from originally. Now I'd like to know, how did you guys initially get into hip hop? Start with Keith.
Oh man, that's a crazy question.
How were
hip
you?
hop got into me, man. Hip hop just happened. I remember being at camp, like it was like a discovery. I'm kind of old, so you know. I mean, like I was at camp. I was about 6 or 7 years old, and literally like hip hop was just on the radio, or at least hip hop music, you know. But then people was, I looked up and people was dancing and doing the break dancing, and it was playing Slick Rick and Dougie Fresh, the Lottie Dottie in the show. That was like my first exposure to hip hop. Like I didn't even hear like the Sugar Hill Gang, and when that, like I had never heard that. My folks was always playing funk and stuff like that. It was at camp that we just first encountered it. People was windmilling and all this stuff, and that was how I encountered the culture, and it was kind of no looking back from there.
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't start rapping though until like I was like 15. So.
Right. So besides Slick Rick, who were like some of the first hip hop artists that you'd say you got introduced to that you remember?
Very first, Fat Boys, man. Those are like my original favorite. Like, man, the Fat Boys. You know what I'm saying? And then like LL. These are like my first exposure to hip hop. LL Cool J, Fat Boys, Ice-T,
Nice.
Big Daddy Kane. Maybe like a little later, Big Daddy Kane. But like originally it was just the Fat Boys, man. Like just when I heard the Fat Boys, I was in.
Dope.
You know what I'm saying? Like in the culture, done.
Nice.
Yeah.
Word. So Navid, how'd you get into hip hop, or how did hip hop?
I was just thinking about that. My first exposure to hip hop was actually while I was still in Iran. It was the movie Breakin'.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I remember seeing the movie Breakin'. My older cousins, my sister is 6 years older. I was probably 4 or 5. But I remember it vividly, watching that movie, seeing the graffiti, the breakdancing, homie doing that. The thing that sticks out the most is, I forget what his name was. Not Boogaloo, but the other cat, Turbo.
Yeah.
He was doing that broom.
Yeah, on the ceiling and stuff.
Yeah, making the broom walk. I just was like mesmerized by that. I couldn't believe it. But what's bugged is Iran at the time was and still is a tightly controlled dictatorship. So you're not allowed to have Western music, Western movies, Western anything. Basically, it's all Islamic fundamental dictatorship. It's a little bit looser now, but this is in the 80s, so it was pretty tight. So it was a bootleg tape. So if you got caught watching that, or even talking about it outside the home, you could get in trouble.
Wow.
But I remember at the end of that movie, they had this little tutorial. It was like a 5-minute tutorial where they showed you a couple of moves, a couple of basic pop lock, a couple of like a windmill or something.
Okay.
And I swear to God, my whole family, all my cousins, my sister, we're all breakdancing after that movie. Like everyone started doing it. But my cousin was older. He was 16. I remember he actually got in trouble because they used to have underground parties. And this is like how deep hip hop is, and hip hop history is globally. I mean, in the 80s in Iran, anything from America is illegal. Anything Western is illegal. And then hip hop specifically was like some rebel shit. So like underground parties were literally like underground. You would get arrested and thrown in jail if you got caught even listening to the music. So that was my first memory. But then when I moved to New York, basically that's kind of how I learned to speak English. Listening to like actually DJ Jazzy Jeff, Fresh Prince. I remember Parents Just Don't Understand. That was like I memorized all the lyrics before I even could speak English. I could rap that song. And me and my homie on the bus used to rap that. And you know, Run DMC and Public Enemy was like my first awakening with music and hip hop. Public Enemy, Bob Marley, around the same time I started listening to the words and like, oh shit, they're actually talking about some stuff.
Dope. So who would you say are some of your favorite MCs? Doesn't have to be like top 5.
Well, it's funny since he just like went to Bob Marley.
Right.
I actually like my favorite MC, and I don't know if people would call him an MC, but given hip hop's Jamaican origins, like my favorite all time to me, in my opinion, the best rapper alive is Damian Marley.
Yeah.
You know,
Hands legit.
Hands down. You know what I'm saying? And it's because of, you know, not only does the dude have like bars, you know, and now the rappers is trying to sing. I mean, he's actually a singer. You know what I'm saying? But like everything that comes out of his mouth is innovation. You know what I'm saying? So, but you know, aside from that, man, like I was a big friend of like Redman, Busta Rhymes, Big Daddy Kane, Rakim, you know, Nas, Jay-Z, like the usual suspects. You know what I'm saying? My personal favorite right now is, well, my 2 personal favorites besides Damian Marley would be Jay Electronica and Doom.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Word. So, as far as some of the newer cats out in the scene right now, who are you resonating with?
That's a good question, man.
I like Afro.
Afro's dope. Yeah.
You know Chris Rivers? Baby Pun, Big Pun's son.
Okay.
He's dope.
He's dope too.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of new cats that I listen to, but I don't listen to like, you know, this is probably sacrilege, but I'm not that big on Kendrick or Drake, J. Cole a little bit, but I mean I respect what they're doing and I acknowledge the significance, but just on a personal level, what I like to listen to, I mean I love Ari the Rugged Man, I love, you know, like Immortal Technique, the lyrical, political, that spectrum is kind of what I personally vibe to, but I like Little Dicky.
He's dope. Hell yeah.
Yeah, man, I don't know, man. I don't know any of the young cats, really. You know what I'm saying? People tell me, like, you know, check into Kendrick. You know, so I've checked into Kendrick. And, you know, I like what he's doing. Like, I think, you know, every so often you get a rapper that pushes the paradigm. And you need that, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And so, you know, but I mean, like, I don't even know these young cats' names. I turn on the radio just to kind of stay relevant as far as like, okay, this is how they rapping now. I mean, I don't want to become that old dude who's stuck with the old school flow, but like I couldn't tell you anybody's name. I can't listen to stuff that brings down my spirits.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? And most rap just has done that for the last, you know what I'm saying, 10, 15 years. There was a time when just any rap lifted my spirits, but then I started teaching kids and like, there was like this separation, this disconnect. And I couldn't even listen to people that I love no more, like, for very long, you know. And so now I turn on the radio just to hear what they're doing. Not what they're saying, because that hasn't changed in 15 years. You know, 20 years, 30 years, I don't know how long, you know. But that hasn't changed. But, you know, the styles, though, I mean, I dig, like, people be hating on, you know, the way dudes rap to the trap. Like, I love that. That shit is fresh. You know, it's like every time I think that we've exhausted, you know, the possibilities.
styles,
You know,
patterns
like
and
something
cadence.
new happens. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So besides some of the cats you've already named, like Fat Boys and stuff, who are some of your other like favorite MCs that you're maybe first introduced to?
I mean, there's so many that come to mind immediately, but thinking outside the box, like Zach De La Rocha,
Okay.
Rage Against the Machine,
Right.
was kind of a big influence.
Mhm.
I always liked doing live music,
Right.
and I've messed with some live music, and even some heavier stuff. 'Cause I love rock and roll. I mean, my earliest memory of music in general was Pink Floyd,
Dope.
The Wall, and it's just my uncle putting it on, and he was babysitting me or something.
Right.
So rock and roll has always been in me, so I always dug that. But yeah, I mean, Tribe Called Quest was a huge influence.
Oh, yeah.
I listened to that
Yeah.
tape
Mm-hmm.
over and over and
Check
over.
it out, y'all.
Yeah, Low End, probably listened to that probably for a whole summer.
Yeah.
3 months, I just had that, and when we had tape players and tapes,
Right.
and it's just
Yeah.
repeat,
Yeah.
repeat. But everything, man. MF Doom, like you said, is kind of he sets a bar in a different direction.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I dig originality, and even if I can't, I hear something new. There's so many new kids out. I mean, locally, we have
Right.
so much incredible music coming out.
Yeah.
I could just spend my whole day listening to local hip hop,
Right.
and I do a lot of time.
Yeah.
You know, I do.
Yeah. He's like,
You know,
this-
I mean,
this is
honestly.
so and so. You know,
Yeah.
like,
Nowadays, anyone can do it. Anyone can put it out.
Right.
Which, you know, there's a lot of noise,
Right.
but there's anything that you could possibly look for. I don't think hip hop's never been better.
Right.
People say the golden age.
Yeah.
And sure, there was a
Yeah.
golden age,
Yeah.
but a lot of the golden age stuff sounds the same. A lot of the modern stuff, like the trap pop sound, it does
Right.
sound the same.
Right.
But underneath all of that, there's
Yeah.
just been this steady like current of
If you
different
know
shit,
whatever,
original
yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
It's easy to find now.
For
You
sure.
know,
Yeah.
you just Pandora, put underground hip hop, or put whatever artist, and you know,
huh.
it's easier to find now than ever. It's easier to make now than ever.
Yeah.
So it's got to be the best it's ever been.
For sure.
You know, more people have access to it,
Right.
which I think is good.
Yeah, yeah,
Most
yeah.
definitely.
I mean, you know, technology allows the culture to kind of be alive.
Yeah, just
And
there's-
it's always been alive, but I mean, you know, like, I mean, take like a lot of the times, like the way culture was spread was through sort of the mainstream channels.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like living in LA, me listening to Slick Rick, if it wasn't, you know what I'm saying, like on the radio, then I wasn't gonna hear it.
Right.
You know, so when the corporate thing kind of happened, it really slowed down the transmission. But now that we got the technology, yeah, you can find, you know, anything. Because everybody don't know how to look. Like I don't know how to look.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't even think of the first name to put in to
Right.
find something current. So you gotta help with
Yeah.
that.
Alright, we got you.
Yeah.
We'll help you out with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we talked a bit about MCs. Let's talk a little bit about producers. Who are some of your favorite producers that come to mind?
Premiere. I like the Justice League.
Yeah.
Those dudes make them Maybach, you know, that type of music. Cause like I said, I was born, you know, I grew up in the church and
That
funk,
soulful
you know, a
sound,
lot
yeah.
of soulful stuff, man. So that, you know, like them, you know, them organs and them the pianos and you know that stuff just like resonates with me. So I mean, that's about as recent as I know as
Right.
far as producers would
Right.
be like the Justice League, and then old school would be, you know, Premiere. Those are my favorites, and Alchemist. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you know, my Pandora beats is just basically Alchemist
Premiere.
and Premiere.
Dope.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Pete Rock,
Most definitely.
Yeah, Pete Rock.
Diamond D, like a lot of that stuff. Kind of
Yeah.
grew up on a lot
Digging
of
in
that.
the
Digging in the
crates,
crates
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah. All
Even
the
though, like, the
DITC
beat
stuff
nuts,
is dope.
They made incredible beats.
Yeah, they did. They
Yeah.
did. And then, DITC was doing some like, you know, beat contest or whatever, and I was watching it on video, man. Like some of the people that come through there, man.
Yeah.
Scott Otoro is one of my favorites.
Scott Otoro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shout out to
man.
Scott.
Scott is a genius.
And my homie Noho Kai too, from the Big Island. He
Okay.
lives out in the Bay. I have so many friends, man, that make such dope beats.
Right,
I mean,
right,
locally here too, there's so many cats that are just killing it.
Yeah.
Just killing it, man. We're swimming in an ocean of beats.
Abundance, yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Most definitely.
Please lead me to that.
How many
water.
people answer
That you're talking
Premiere
about.
on that?
On what?
On that question. Is Premiere the
Shit,
most?
he's been very consistent.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorites
Yeah.
off the top of the dome. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean Gangstar. How do you?
yeah,
Yeah.
and he's got like that soulful, funky sample bass.
Yeah.
Scratch hooks.
Yeah,
Then Alchemist, man. The Alchemist is.
yeah, I fuck with Optimus heavy too.
Man.
Yeah,
Exile.
Static
Exile
Selecta.
still.
Static Selecta, I
Yeah.
feel is like the white DJ Premier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's super dope.
What's that dude? Jake One? Jake One is his name?
Yeah,
Jake One is
well,
his
he's
name.
doing stuff with Mir Hawthorne right now. I don't know if you've
Yeah.
checked that out now, but they got a duo called Tuxedo, but it's like old school soul, like
Yeah.
funk, kind of disco-ish, more like fun, dancey type stuff.
Honestly, someone that I gotta say too is so much of the stuff that I love. This dude had a hand in Prince Paul,
Yeah.
and he doesn't ever really get the
Not
credit.
really, yeah.
He never really does. I mean, Gravediggers was one of my favorite. I love that shit. It was like teenage listening to like death metal for us. You know what I'm saying? Like that was like. And Prince Paul had a huge hand in that. My favorite De La Soul album, Balloon Mind State, was basically all Prince Paul.
Yeah.
He's done a lot. The Handsome Boy Modeling School
Yeah,
stuff.
right.
Prince Amongst Thieves is a legendary album, that
Okay.
hip hopera, basically, that he created. Yeah, I don't think that dude gets enough credit.
Yeah,
Prince
yeah,
Paul.
definitely.
Wonder what he's
Prince
up to.
Paul myself.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go do a little
I'm gonna have to
more
do that.
deep
Yeah,
dive
yeah.
on
Yeah.
Prince.
I mean,
Yeah.
He's just kind of done, he's been there for a lot of dope shit that
Like
we've
Trial,
grown up
yeah,
with.
so yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Dope.
And Dilla, we gotta say.
Yeah, yeah, most definitely. So, when did you start writing your own music or songs?
Well, I started just writing little poems when I was, I don't know, 13, 14.
Mm-hmm.
But the first time I actually, and then had a little, me and a couple of my friends had one of those karaoke machines, and we would just record raps on the tapes. But I didn't really actually get serious till I moved out here in 2001, started going to UH, and started a band, got going on the live scene, played a lot of shows, used to play at the Wave a lot.
Okay.
Like, used to get down with like there was a few bands back in the day, Microscopic Syllables, shout out to Kaylee, Seth One, those guys, Direct Descendants, all those dudes. My band's name back then was Four Elements. I actually started with the Herbivores, but that was too crazy. I was like 3 months and all we did was party. We practiced for 1 week, basically, 5 days in a row, all day in the studio, wrote like 6 songs.
Wow.
And then we just gigged around the island and got fucking wasted the rest of the time. That fizzled out. Shout out to Laney. But then Four Elements, few years with those guys, and then but then I didn't actually record my first solo album and put out anything till around 2011. That was the first time I actually put out an album, and then I started working with Scott and Illicit 2013. So we've been doing the super grouper thing since then.
2013, dope. So is it just you, Scott, and Illicit, or the main?
This dude right here is he's the silent partner in Super Grouper's Accent,
Okay.
and it's only because shout out to Accent. It's only because he's out in LA. But yeah, we definitely need to do more music with Accent. But pretty much, I mean, the core of it here is Scott, Illicit, and I.
Dope.
And shout out to Kimmy V, actually. She
Okay.
got down on some stuff. We have see, the whole concept when we started the Super Groupers is like a super group, like a
Right.
super group of all talented individuals that could
Yeah.
do things on their own individually. So,
Right.
I mean, we never saw it as an exclusive thing with
Right,
the three
right.
of us. It just kind of evolved that way with the performances and doing shows. But, you know, we like to work with a lot of different people. And so that was kind of a collective idea that just kind of morphed into a group.
Kind of like Wu-Tang-ish, I'm thinking.
Yeah, kind of like that. But
Dope.
that's,
Word. How about yourself? When did you start creating?
I wrote my first song when I was 5.
Nice.
But that's a story for another day. I started rapping at 15. A buddy of mine was just like, you know, we was at PE class. He was like, man, we need to start rapping. And I'm like, well, how are we going to do that? And he was like, we do basically very slowly. You know, and it turned out I had, like, you know, a real talent for it. You know, this was still back in the days when, like, you know, you didn't really have access to things like studio and all that stuff. When I was in college, I met some dudes who, you know, were doing studio stuff ish, and so I had gotten with this group. I think we were called like Children of the Stolen Ones or something. And then a lot of those cats, just different obligations or whatever. Everybody wasn't as hungry, I guess.
Yeah.
So we ended up like breaking off, me and a buddy of mine who I still rhyme with and practice, as far as on the phone, like freestyling and stuff like that. But we ended up starting a group called Subdivision, and we recorded a lot of really cool stuff. Back then, you still had the producer who had everything on ADAT tapes and all that kind of stuff. But what happened was actually I started teaching, and up until then my content was not unwingish, you know what I'm saying. But when I started teaching, I had that split, and I realized I can't do this, you know what I'm saying. And so like I walked away from like projects. And it kind of strained some of our relationships. I mean, we're family, so we got past it, but at the time, it was just like a lot of hard work had been put, into producing these projects, and writing these projects, and I went a whole nother route. Then I did this underground record, like really was like my sort of first record. It, had a lot of Christian overtones that, I'm not 100% proud of that either, and it was a nice little underground record or whatever. I like to brag to myself about the fact that I was able to sell like 400 albums in 8 hours.
Nice.
And the truth is, or was it 8 hours? 8 hours, yeah, it was like 48 hours.
Dope.
48 hours, yeah. And but that 48 hours was actually spread out over 6 weekends. And then I did a album because I sing too. So I did my second album was like half R&B, half hip hop.
That's the one you have on SoundCloud?
Yeah, that's the one I have on not SoundCloud, it's
Bandcamp.
But on Bandcamp. Yeah, that's called Look Both Ways. And that was like my first sort of foray into like R&B and blues and jazz and stuff like that. But yeah, and now like honestly, like meeting this dude and meeting the Super Groupers and meeting Scott, like I haven't had this much fun with like hip hop writing, because most of the time if I'm writing, I'm writing R&B. In years, other than Home Run, which is that song. I wrote a song about basically farming, and that allowed me to meet a lot of people all over the country and all over the world. I haven't gone to meet any of the people, but I've gone to different parts of the country because of Homegrown, and but people have contacted me from crazy parts of the world, like, hey man, I got this land and it's at 6,000 feet in these mountains and it's pretty icy or whatever. Like you think you want to come up here and help me work on it? I'm like, bruh, like I wrote the song because I knew it was right. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I don't know that much about no farming, that kind of thing. But I knew it was the right thing to do. And it's like this sort of blend of blues and hip hop.
You guys got to check that out, by the way. Look up Keith Cross, Homegrown.
Yeah. Look it up. I think you might enjoy it and might get you out into your garden a little bit.
We'll put the link in the comment section below.
Yeah.
Dope. So, what are you listening to right now?
Actually, I had Connor Boy's CD in my car driving up.
The Algia?
The EP that he put out.
Okay.
Was it Cerulean City?
Okay.
Yeah. I was just showing him some of that. He hadn't heard it before. But a lot of the local stuff that I still vibe on. Island Air's EP was in my CD deck for a while.
Okay.
The only bad thing about that, there was only 5 tracks.
Too short.
Too short. So Crichton needs to get some more stuff out.
Word.
I listened to a lot of my homies from Big Island and Maui. Nohokai, Kapu. Shout out to Kapu. He's one of the dopest MCs. And a lot of the older stuff that they created, man, those guys, Kamehameha Projects, Molten Poets, there's probably 300 or so songs that they put out from about 2000 till now.
Wow.
They haven't released most of it, but I have it, so I still listen to it. But as far as current stuff, I mean, every once in a while I turn on the radio just to see what's going on, or kind of check like what the biggest song in hip hop is at the moment. And I actually like a lot of the beats. The content of what they're saying, I don't relate to personally. I don't know who does necessarily, but a lot of the vibe and the beats, I dig it. I turn it down a little bit so I can hear the beat and then I just flow freestyle to it. But I listen to a lot of different types of music. Listen to a lot of jazz, a lot of funk.
Right.
When I work, I just put on music and podcasts. I listen to a lot of podcasts, audiobooks.
Same
Learn
here.
a lot.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, I'm mainly listening to reggae, man. You know, just like I said, I need music to turn my vibration.
For
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So mainly reggae, or the music I grew up on, which is like, or was conceived to, or like spent my early years with, so like old school funk. Sort of Quiet Storm, like
Right.
that type of stuff that puts me to sleep. You
For
know, I mean, it's love making music, so it gets you in the mood too. But I mean, it just feels good to me. Like I feel recharged when I listen to that. Although, like on the hip hop tip, I've just been sort of just taking these sneak peeks at Royce the 5'9", because he's been putting out these, I guess you call them mixtapes or whatever. But he's been doing like these artists put out a song and then he'll put out like. He'll just take their track, man, and I heard, wait a minute, you know what I'm saying, and I heard it because I was checking out my cousin. He did a version of it. Daylight is my cousin, and he did a version with him and Royce the 5'9", and I just started checking out Royce. He's putting out these. I'm like, this dude is killing. You know what I'm saying? And like, how you had in moments like. I'm gonna stop rapping. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And then then you wake up the next day like no, like so yeah. Well, Royce the 5'9", he did that to me, man.
Word. Yeah, I got a lot of his stuff too. I can share with you. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Dope. So, what are you guys working on right now? Are you working on any projects?
I'll let you take this.
Okay, so right now, man, I'm working on my dissertation.
Okay.
So I'm a PhD student at Stanford School of Education, but I'm just interested in learning in relation to hip hop practice, and so I did this study where we took these expert freestyle lyricists and tried to see like what sort of changes might have happened in their brain. Or just how their brains might be different. We can't say changes. We don't know what the beginning state was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like, are their brains different than people who are not lyricists or whatever? So we did this study. I had to go round up MCs from the Bay Area because that's where I was at. I had to go find cats who were really dope at freestyle, and sort of had to operationalize freestyle as way as I understand it to be able to say, scientifically, this person is an expert because it's not like we got a Juilliard for MCs.
Right. So there were certain criteria that the person had to.
Yeah. So, I had to come up with those myself. And I mean, there was one study that happened in Canada where they did, freestyle. So, I mean, I was able to kind of use, some of what they came up with. Because the guys who collaborated with them were actually two from LA. And they were MCs from LA. One of them was, hangs out at Project Bloat and stuff. So, definitely, real. I remember neither of their names, but these were freestylers. So they informed how that project went down. So I was able to take that and some of my own intuitions as far as like going and recruiting rappers. So we got these experts, this group of experts. Then we try to find basically a demographically similar group of people who have no experience. And then we just look to see their sensitivity to rhyme. Like something really simple, like asking, basically you hear a sequence of words, does it rhyme, does it not? Yes or no? We use EEG, which reads their brain waves, and based on their response, we look for differences in the brain. And all I'm gonna say on camera is that we found differences. I've sent the paper out for publication. I'm hoping. I'll also talk about like why I did it. I did it because in America, in the world, at least since 1300, people of color are looked at, no matter what we achieve, looked at as less than intelligent. And so I just really wanted to show people within the community. This was not even to prove like to rebut racism, just within the community to say, hey, this is something that we created, and these are the things that are going on within us in our heads because of it, or by practicing it. So we look for something. I'm happy that we found something, and I really just want it to be something that people who are a part of the hip hop community can say, look, this is not we don't have to go tit for tat about why what we do is valuable with anybody. We know why it's valuable. I don't want to see dudes, stop freestyling because they can't make money doing it.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? Stop playing chess or dominoes. You know what I'm saying? So
For sure.
that was kind of the motivation behind it.
Dope.
Yeah.
So what would like an ideal outcome for you be moving forward after gathering what you've gotten?
So an ideal outcome would be that, it's science. So, science is always, sort of up for grabs. You know what I mean? Like you look for evidence, you sort of theorize about what it might mean, or hypothesize about what you might find. And if you find it, you theorize about what it might mean. We've done that. Typically, there's subsequent investigations. So, I would just hope that the subsequent investigation stands up to scrutiny, and that I can get the word out in layperson's terms, and that people who are in the culture will be proud of what we do, and proud of the fact, the intellectual complexities of the practice. That you will feel like, because it's really easy to feel like that this thing that we do is not important, nobody cares about it. You hear people diss people who are 40-year-old rappers regularly. And I know that's because of the economics of it, but, ideally I would just like it to just really sort of shift, or be a counter narrative to this idea that people of color are not intelligent. Not for, like, again, of course, for people who are racist or whatever, but mainly for the people themselves, you know what I mean? Like, I realized while I was at Stanford how much I myself have internalized the stereotypes about what I can and can't do, and how those stereotypes affect me. You know what I'm saying? And so that was really kind of what drove this study. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta let me know I'm talking too much. I could talk about this all day. But one thing that I will say is, like, we have some people there, John Redford, Arnitha Ball, Sammy Aleem, Brian Brown. Like, so these are basically scholars who write about language, and write about language in education, and write about the ways in which language is used to sort of racialize and to take power away from people. And what I noticed about their readings or their writings was, like, when I read their writings, it was the first time that I realized, like, my language practices. When I first got to Stanford, I couldn't talk.
Right.
My tongue felt like it weighed a ton because I was feeling like people were going to judge me because of the bounce of my speech.
Right.
Just me talking black, I'm going to sound unintelligent.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I was not able to articulate stuff because I was feeling this pressure. I didn't know there was a such thing called this stereotype threat that sort of just shuts you down cognitively and doesn't allow you to talk. But I read their literature and it's saying, like, hey, like there's like Semi talks about this thing called linguistic superiority. Like, this is their problem. What we do is very systematic. Or like Rickford. He's talking about, like, no, black language is very systematic. It has this, that, and the other. And, all of these features. It got features that so-called standard English don't even have. And, like, to learn those things freed up my tongue. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to be able to do something like that for people who identify with hip hop.
Dope.
Yeah.
Dope.
Yes. I use that analogy, what you said about it kind of just gives credibility to this art form.
Yeah.
It's probably the most disrespected art form outside of what's popular and what's hot. Like you said, if you're doing hip hop because you're an hip hop artist and that's what you know, it's like being a painter. If you meet someone who paints, you don't tell them, hey, you're 30, you're still painting. Like, why are you painting? You're wasting your time painting. Yeah. No one ever says that. Right. They're like, oh, it's cool. You paint. It's good for you. Like, and what you're doing and what a lot of people are doing. I mean, what we're doing with our hip hop education stuff, trying to use hip hop in the educational field, trying to inspire kids, really just inspire them to find themselves and go within and find their original voices, be able to tell their story. Having scholars be able to actually produce this evidence, scientific evidence, only helps us, only helps these grassroots organizations. People who practice hip hop know that hip hop is valid and it works and it's helped them and they see it helping people, but it's anecdotal. To have actual hard scientific evidence, that's the trend now. And it's like hip hoppers are scientists, hip hoppers are educators, hip hoppers are in the government, they're philosophers. Like, we're expanding and it's a cultural shift.
Yeah, and like you said though, like, sort of like the empowerment, like the inner empowerment is too also what I'm interested in, because like I think, red tape is always a problem, and so one of the things that I wanted to do was sort of sidestep, the education system, the traditional forms of assessing whether or not you've learned something. Like one of the things that I think is sort of holding back people who are trying to use hip hop in relation to education is the education system.
Right.
The results based.
I mean, or just what, and it's not even it's I don't know if it's any fault of anybody. It's a big system,
Right.
and in order for it to sort of I don't know.
Needs to be quantifiable.
Everything needs to be quantifiable. But even that, like, I mean, yeah, we want things to be quantifiable. But I mean, like, you can tell if your mom made a cake recipe right, if the cake tastes right. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of ways, but we kind of really only test in certain ways. We only look for certain things. We only certain things, evidence learning. And my approach was just like, well, not just my approach, but like my actual philosophy about what hip hop, the potential of hip hop, like. It's learning. You know what I'm saying? It's learning. Like, I don't think you need to house it in another system.
Right.
It's, I know tons of people who have learned a lot of things.
For sure.
Just by being
raised by hip hop, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Things that, schools are not yet equipped to teach.
Right. Word. So if people want to keep up with you and your studies and your work, what would be the best way to do that?
Keep up with my studies and my work. That's a good question. I'm just going to give them some places to find me. So my website is keithcrossmusic.com. On Facebook, I think if you search for Keith Fathom Cross, you'll find my music page, which is also where I sort of post things related to my research.
Okay. Keith Fathom.
Keith Fathom, so Fathom Cross. Like, just put it in the search in Facebook, and
Bandcamp for some of your music.
Keith Cross Music will take you to my Bandcamp site.
Okay.
I think if you go to Facebook/Keith Cross Music, it'll take you to my Facebook. I'm not sure.
Okay.
And then you can always send me an email, keithcrossmusic@gmail. Like, I'm open to email. I don't always respond to it because I'm writing a dissertation.
Send them some beats.
Keith Cross
music@gmail.
Yeah, that's the best way. And I'm trying to be real. Like I submitted the stuff now. When I get it back, but I'm also trying to be like, it's going to take some, bringing it to the people.
Right.
And even my rappers, like I've told them, I try to keep them in the loop. A lot of time research takes, it doesn't give. You know what I'm saying? Like they take from the community and never really get back. So I've let these guys know, like, there's gonna be moments where I'm not in contact, but I'm trying to keep you guys, in loop as far as what's going on. And everybody who was a part of it was, like, they understood the purpose. They were happy to be involved, and like I've gotten nothing but just complete cooperation from these dudes. Like, hey man, you need anything else? You need another interview? You need any more information? Like, these guys have been really good about it. So I'm trying to make sure that I keep them
reciprocate. For sure.
Yeah.
Word. So do you have any shows, projects coming up that you'd like to share?
What's our show schedule? I don't think there's anything coming up for super groupers. Scott Toro just released an album. Kumamoto, and he's on a little tour. He's actually heading to Japan. I think he's in LA right now, but he's heading out there to play some shows. Illicit's about to drop a solo project with Keep Records out of Vegas. Some older stuff from a few years ago, some newer stuff. So I think that's coming out real soon. I am just gathering some beats and working on some solo stuff too. I would love to do something with you.
For sure.
Working on something with Keith. My thing is I just want to work with different cats too. I want to work with different MCs. Just build, man. It helps me.
Yeah.
I stay motivated when I work with other people. So, but then also we have our Sound Shop music education program. The super groupers, Puna Hele and Rucka, the Magnificent.
The Magnificent Rucka.
So actually, Puna, Rucka, the super groupers, and Keith went out to Molokai about a month ago and did a workshop out there for Molokai high school students. courtesy of Hano Hano, the Paniolo Prince. Shout out to Hano Hano
Yeah.
and Miley,
Hano.
Naehu. We were at Keawanui Fish Pond, which is a cultural education center. Teaches the values of aloha aina and what it is to be indigenous and Hawaiian, and what they're doing the work they're doing out there is incredible. It's incredible. And we got to go out there and stay for a few nights and kick it with Hano and hang out with the kids. Was awesome. So
I feel like I really bonded with Rucka on that
Yeah,
trip.
man.
Nice.
I'm trying not to laugh.
Yeah, it was good, but it's all through the Sound Shop program that we started at the Museum of Art.
Okay.
And it's really become, it has a lot of momentum. We do about 10 workshops a year. They're usually done at the Museum of Art at the Doris Duke Theater.
Okay.
So we have a 3-hour field trip for high school students.
Dope.
Basically, they come in, we perform for them, we have a guest artist perform for them. Then we have a topic, and it always relates to self-awareness.
Right.
Consciousness, kind of getting the kids to just open up and put them in that space where they can feel comfortable enough to open up parts of themselves that, in hip hop and music, it's the perfect hook for kids. And so in this 3-hour session, they watch us perform, then we guide them, we help them work together to create something, and then they have to get on stage and perform for us and each other at the end of the session. So we have one coming up this Thursday with IAEA High School. But we're working on something over the summer to do an outreach workshop for homeless kids. So we want to go to, I think we're going to go out to Waianae and go and do a little barbecue for the parents and set up speakers and a stage and let the kids rock and kind of show them some stuff and play some beats and just let them have fun for a day. So we're going to hit up a lot of our homies. We're going to get Hawaii Hip Hop hopefully behind it. Get a crew to go out there, everybody donate. We want to have backpacks, notebooks, pencils, whatever we can give to these kids to go have this experience, but then give them something, something educational. I mean, just a notebook and a pencil or a pen for a kid that doesn't have anything. Like for me, that's all I needed back in the day was a pencil and a notebook, and that was good. I just get on the bus and go, you know what I'm saying? Like,
For sure.
So we want to do that maybe sometime in August. So we're going to be blasting and reaching out to people, hopefully get some community support. But that's the part of hip hop being older now is like you gotta work with the community and it's a powerful thing. And definitely you see the impact on the kids too.
For sure.
Yeah. And it's always good for us as artists. And we gotta have you be one of the guests. There's so many artists that we want to have guests for this. Mainly to have that experience.
Right.
Like if you've never worked with kids because when you're talking about what you do, it makes you like legitimized to yourself.
Actually really doing this. Like someone asked me today, I think, like, oh, you're a hip hop artist, and I was like, yeah, I am a hip hop artist. Like before I'd be like, oh, I make music, but totally I can resonate.
And the kids, they judge you by your skill, by nothing else but your skill. So the first thing we do in this setting is we don't even talk to the kids, we immediately start rapping. You establish your credibility right away, and then you could relate that to whatever really you want to teach them. So.
Right.
But check out Supergroupers Bandcamp, supergroupers.bandcamp.com, otoro.bandcamp.com, and just stay up on our social networks. We got some stuff coming out.
Dope. So we'll post some of those links in the comment section. If people want to tune into the Sound Shop, is there like...
You can, check out the Honolulu Museum of Art website. We just put up a Sound Shop page.
Okay.
So it has a description of the program, bios for the administrators, and links and how you can get in touch. We're always looking for volunteers, people that want to come sit in on these sessions. They're usually in the morning from 9 a.m. to noon. So it's kind of a rough time for people that work or go to school.
Right.
But yeah, if any artists want to hit us up and come just experience to see what it's all about. And, the long-term plan for this program is to build a network of artists that know how to present these workshops, know how to talk about what they do, utilize their, skills, whatever they're good at, and be able to have schools basically hit us up and be like, hey, we're doing this next month. Do you have an artist that could work with us? And we could link them up with artists from their community. It would be dope to have this network.
A curriculum,
have a specific curriculum. So be like, if you're going to go in your neighborhood and talk to the kids in your school, you can get up on our site or whatever and download or pull off this lesson plan or this lesson plan. It's just a resource. And to be able to do it and be able to pay the artist to do it. you know, by creating this nonprofit that can get money in to be able to pay artists to go provide the service.
Sure.
And by having studies like what this gentleman is putting out,
Yeah.
just adds more credibility
Right.
when we're out there asking for money to put these programs on.
Shows that it's beneficial. Yeah.
Yeah, so the more artists, the more people we get to come experience the workshop as our guests and be able to talk to the kids, it just adds more to our, you know.
For sure.
Yeah.
Dope. Awesome.
Who doesn't love kids?
Some people.
Trick love the kids.
We had a kid at Molokai, like it was
Oh, man.
funny, like
Cookie,
yeah,
shout out to Cookie.
Cookie, man, shout out to Cookie, man. Like the zone hit him.
Yeah.
He was like, you know, like it was like the first time a kid ever got in the zone
It's
because
like 14?
yeah, he's like 14.
14,
He was
15,
like
freestyling
yeah,
with us?
he was
Yeah.
freestyling with us. It was
Never
like
did it
freestyle
before?
Olympics, like 48
Well,
hours.
not in that
Like,
setting,
yeah,
not
it
with
was like
actual other
Yeah,
MCs.
It was
He
just
went
like,
in,
he's
yo.
sitting up there, man, like he's on the stage with like Puna and Rucka.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
That
Like
was
he just
his
like
zone.
the zone hit him and he
Yeah.
was just going.
Word.
You know, and we were all just kind of sitting there knowing, like, oh yeah, I remember that. You know, he'll never be the same. Yeah,
Game changer.
yeah, man.
Dope. Awesome. Well, much respect to you guys.
Much respect
No,
to
thank
you, man, for doing
Yeah,
this.
doing this,
Yeah, consistency.
Yeah.
Consistency, man. Putting
Word.
this out there. Looking forward to being on here, man. It's dope.
For sure. Right
Yeah.
on. Appreciate that. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. And we got a couple more instrumentals lined up for y'all. It's Freestyle Friday.
Freestyle Friday.
Episode 38. Hopefully my battery's
Episode
not dead.
38. Crazy.
What up, Kim? Shout out to Chris.
Oh, you can see names? of
Yeah, a
people?
couple of them. Kim's
Okay.
tuning in right now.
All right.
I'm gonna get my
Like,
charger.
Our Kim?
Yeah, Kim.
Hey, Kim.
Yeah, what up, Kim?
So,
Oh, yeah, Rock the School Bells Hawaii. She's putting
yeah,
out-
she hit me up.
in October. So it's going to be a big conference, hip hop education conference. She's bringing out some big cats to be a part of it. Rock the School Bells has been going on for a while. I think 10 years or so, maybe.
Maybe so.
Dope.
But it's going to be the first one in Hawaii. So hit up Kim or hit us up, Super Groupers, myself, Keith, any one of us, if you guys want to get involved with that. Obviously need volunteers, need all the help we can get to get this hip hop out to the kids. Yeah.
Difficulties.
And G-Funk's album that he put out is super dope. That's another one that I listened to. Puna's album that he put out a little while ago, I still listen to that.
Mm-hmm.
Coins' album still in heavy rotation.
Familiar
Jim Burnell
faces.
is in rotation.
Yeah, dope. All right, so turn these beats back on.
All right. Yeah. Freestyle Friday.
With the mic control, me and Keith Cross coming straight from the soul. We got Navid repping the super grouper, spitting them dope freestyles you ain't used to. Made up off the top of my head, I keep it twisted like a dread. Yeah, locked on like a master. Hate to blast you, but I have to. Like Anita, don't get caught up in the rapture. I'm a dinosaur, I'm a raptor, I'm a T-Rex, I'm a straight flex. And you never know what's coming up next. It's the freestyle, cause I just grow with the flow. Off the top of the dome I go, and I go on. And the flow's so strong, I'm about to blow up, cause this shit is the bomb. You can hit me up on cheapfunk.com. Yeah, I be getting it on, getting it underground with that sound that goes pound for pound. I'm the best around, ain't no flexing out, but yes, I will represent. Like I said, I should be the president. All that bullshit they talking is irrelevant. Got Leviathan's head, I am severing. And you better pay up with my severance. Coming with the dope flow, so clever and I'm about to pass the shit off. We in a rocket ship and we blasting it off.
Blasting it off, never coming with that soft vibe or rendition from the people getting off. To the vibe we protect the ride. Yo, I'm rhyming, but I gotta decide in which direction, which flow I wanna go in. Yeah, we showing, never really slowing down with the tempo. This is from my mental. Yes, I love this dope instrumental. I'm just trying to keep up with these expert freestylers, just drinking from a cup that was filled with that liquor. Now I'm feeling sicker, but yo, I gotta figure where we at, where we going, why we gotta show them steadily flowing, why we gotta slow them down. Yeah, we love the sound. Super groupers coming out to your town. It's all love.
Hey. We show up to your village and we give you that hill hip hop that's the realest. And you know how we be doing, we be all gorillas with it. That mean that warfare, I know you really want to feel it. That's how we do it so that you know exactly what the deal is when we come and you know we backing it up. Cause I'm scientific, which means I give you evidence. I be the past, I be the future, be the present tense. I'm about to give you all of the parts and the elements just in case you don't like it and don't know just how eloquent it could be. I'm rocking flows for the hell of it. I'm about to give you what you mean. I'm funky in an excrement, you smelling it. It's in your nose, this is the question we pose, and you know that we pros. We continue to do it like we got to give you some more. Like this was Busta Rhymes back in the day, the dough. I done kicked it in like Biggie Smalls waving, not the fofo, but the MICROPHONE. If you don't know who's so powerful, you got to really acknowledge bro when you see him. You can put this up in the museum until the day that I'm dead and in the mausoleum. You are going to see the purists. That's what I give them, and I know that the police can't get in because I don't care if they was waving their warrants. The purists, oh I said that, according, reporting, resorting, reforming, contorting, give them what they want, and they should have heeded the warning.
Yeah. Oh,
Bars!
shit.
Get your bars up.
I
Get your bars up.
Get your bars up.
This is bullshit.
It's Freestyle Friday. Any true MC needs to know how to freestyle. Yes, 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 yes. Freestyle. Just like a professional, step in the booth, cause the booth is my confessional. Yeah, and I am the preacher, came to teach us some vibrations that will reach her. Mind, spirit, your soul in control. And I came here with my cards out, I never fold. I'm going all in to the day that I'm falling. And my cup is filled with a tall brim, cause I'm seeing it always half full. And I'm like a raging bull, and I came to pull your card. You be rapping all hard, but you really soft out in the streets up on the boulevard. Fucking fake with some shit I can't relate. And I'm up in the kitchen and I'm whipping up a cake. Got the mixture with that real dope elixir. It will hit ya. I am a fixture up on the wall just like a Picasso. Good vibes, sometime an asshole, but I flow so heavenly. And you know I'm about to wake 'em up like reverie. And the flow so heavenly, yeah, it was heaven sent. And you know, it's irrelevant, the shit that I'm hearing on the radio and such. And you know I'm kicking back, just pushing up a Dutch. Got my mind stay corrupt. Got some Hennessy in my cup. And you know I'm about to get turned up like the volume knob up on my boombox. I came here to rock with that real hip hop. And no, we don't stop like the tick on the clock with the Super Coopers and my man Keith Cross.
And the vibe is so dope. And we speaking cause we never broke. With the wealth that is spiritual in context. It's beautiful. This ain't a contest. I ain't competing with you, cause I would lose, but certainly we came here to do what it means to be a real dude with the funk. Yeah, selling CDs out the trunk with the way we used to get down then. Nowadays, yo, a lot easier. Send your emails through e-waves and you be there when people pretending that, and this beat is quite familiar. Now I know where we going with this village that we build in its community. So beautifully, put it like immunity from the stress. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe you don't, it doesn't matter, I'm just delaying the next thought from delivering its own context. Yeah, this vibration, I'm feeling confidence coming back, but we steadily flowing. Let them know, from my feet to my knees I'm growing. To the next show, check for the super groupers on the billfold. We gotta get paid or we'll do it for free. But seriously, we need more energy back from you or back from the scene. At least give us some food or let us feed the team with some liquor. But you know, we figure that it doesn't really matter. Do it for the love and get bigger.
Yeah.
From the soul, ready to deliver. Back from the wheel right now. Let us enter another realm. Keep Cross at the helm. Let him know, let him settle, let him devil.
Speak it to the film. Make a deal with the devil. I am a rebel. I never settle. The score, well, I might settle that. Better rap, I put it together, and then they call the medevac to see if they can help them. See Fathom be kicking that rhyme, and I spend the cash so you ain't got to credit that. Against my house, chilling with my spouse. When I'm not here, I'm hanging out with these dudes. The flow is lethal, rock for the people.
Yeah.
Y'all should probably study what it is that we do.
Yes. What he said.
Freestyle. Dr. Freestyle in the house. Killing it. Keep on.
Pleasure. Killing it. Blades is sharp, man. Shout out to each and every one of y'all. It's a pleasure each and every Friday, Freestyle Friday, episode 38. I think we should do something special for episode 50. 5-0 Hawaii, you know. So stay tuned for that. It's coming up soon. I got an album dropping soon. And a bunch of stuff that's cooking up, that's about to erupt. So thank y'all for tuning in. Peace, love, positive vibes. Have an amazing weekend. Freestyle Friday, episode 38. Signing off. Cheese.
Shout out Squeeze Play.
Squeeze Play. Super Grouper.
Get that work in.
Heath Cross. Peace.
Yeah.